Hi, it's Frank here from AdWordsInsideSecrets.com. If you haven't done so already, please go to AdWordsInsideSecrets.com right now, where you can download the first 10 chapters of my breakthrough program, AdWords Inside Secrets. Today I want to talk about click-through rate, because click-through rate may be the most important thing in your AdWords account, and most people don't know it. Most people have no idea whatsoever that click-through rate is even more important than your bid price in determining how much you'll pay per click, what position your ad will show, and where and how often the ad appears. Click-through rate is that important. It's something Google places an extremely heavy amount of emphasis on. It's also one of the heavily weighted factors into your quality score, which we talked about in the last video. And of course, quality score determines the minimum price you're required to pay to even have your ad show up in the first place, let alone have it show up in a good position. So how do we raise click-through rate? Well, there are several ways to do this. First of all, the search phrases and keywords you enter have to be relevant to the ad and must appear in your ad variations. So what I like to do is take a search phrase, for example, cold calling, which is my #1 search phrase on my website, nevercoldcall.com. I put that in the ad headline, and I put that in the ad text. It shows up in both places. So now what happens is when somebody enters cold calling as a search phrase, they see an ad appear that has cold calling in two places, in the headline and in the ad body. This makes it extremely relevant, and the person is much more likely to click on the ad. Now, there's another way to dramatically improve click-through rate. Now, I will warn you ahead of time. This may be a permanent solution for you. It may not be, and here's why. There's a feature called Keyword Macro, and if you haven't downloaded my free 10-chapter ebook at AdWordsInsideSecrets.com, please go ahead and do so right now, because I explain in detail in there how to use the Keyword Macro feature. What Keyword Macro does is it shows as your ad headline, it automatically inserts the keyword or search phrase that the person typed in. You can't get any more relevant than that. So if someone types in cold calling in NYC, for example, someone who lives in New York City, the ad headline will dynamically show cold calling in NYC. The ad is 100% relevant now, and the click-through rate is extremely, extremely high. As I've talked about in an earlier video, and as I talk about in the ebook, it's extremely important to track your conversion rate and make sure you're only keeping ads that convert sales. Well, here's where we're going to make an exception to that rule, because the thing about click-through rate on Google is that it's historical. You can have a very high click-through rate for your first couple of weeks online, or say for a 2-week period at some point, and even though your click-through rate may go down later when you change your ads, it's historically weighted higher. So for the life of your entire AdWords account, you're going to have a higher click-through rate weight. And so in the future, when you create new accounts or new campaigns and new ad groups, you will automatically have an advantage. And so even if an ad with the keyword macro headline is not converting as well as one that does not use that feature, which is frequently the case, it's wise to use it anyway, especially at the very beginning of your AdWords account or your AdWords campaign for a specific campaign you're undergoing, simply because it will give you that edge up front, it will save that data forever, and you will have a click-through rating weight that is applied to everything you do on AdWords in the future. It will give you a tremendous advantage. So those are the basics of click-through rate and a few quick strategies to improve your click-through rate and with it your profitability and your results with AdWords. For the full story, go to AdWordsInsideSecrets.com where you can download my course right now. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.